Hey everybody, Wolf Redeemed here. And today I am going to bring you another video. And this video is going to be on a drawing that I had done. And so I'm going to explain a little bit on what this drawing means while I color and fill in this picture. And I have a Bible verse that I have prepared to read. And I'll explain a little bit on what that means and what I see in this picture that I had drawn out. And so yeah, let's go ahead and let's get to prayer, and we can get started in coloring it in, and let's give this day to the Lord. Dear Heavenly Father, we come to you today, Lord, and we just thank you so much for all that you do. Father, we just thank you for everything that you do in our lives, Lord. I pray that as I come to color in this picture, Father, and to do the explaining and reading the Bible verse, Father, I pray that you come to work and speak through me, and just show me and guide me, and just guide my words, Lord. I pray that you just come to give me the right words to say, and I just pray that you just be with me today, and I just thank you for this day, Father. I thank you for waking me up to praise and worship your name, Lord, in the mighty name of Jesus. Father, I just pray that as I go on to color this in, Father, I pray that you just come to strengthen me, give me wisdom and discernment, Father. In the mighty name of Jesus, I pray. Amen. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to color a little bit of this in. Now, what's going to happen is I'm going to switch back and forth between the artist pens and marker. So what I'm going to do in order to, as you see right here, like these little areas right here, I am going to have to use one of these pens to fill in those little areas, and then I'm going to, just fill it in, with these. And then what I'm going to do after that is I'm going to use this marker to get into the bigger spaces here. So like in this area, like right here or here, that's what I'm going to use this marker on. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to just fill in these little areas with one of these pens, and then I'm going to go the rest with the marker. So, let's go ahead and let's get started on that. So the first one I'm going to use to do this is I'm going to use the detailed pen. So that way I get to the smaller areas to fill in. And so let's... So here you can see that I am filling in all of the all of these little areas very carefully. This drawing is like one of my all-time favorites. So I've been working on it, quite a bit. And I did this, I believe it was last year that I had done this. And by doing all of that, I've been trying to get some ideas on what drawings to do, because, back in my time, I used to have, a lot of these other drawings that were like, that were just, all darkness. And I'm going to tell you a little bit about that, because I know that some of you out there, don't know about my testimony. So how it all began was that I was into a lot of dark things. And one of those things, it was, I used to draw a lot of, demonic things, dark things for the evil one. And, so it got so out of control that I just kept, drawing and drawing. And so what wound up happening was, I drew a lot of things that weren't of God. And back then, of course, I had a really dark past in that. And I've gotten into other things that I shouldn't have, gotten into. So going from there and realizing that I was going through, a lot in darkness and just drawing and writing things in darkness, it started to take over my life. And what wound up happening was, writing horror scripts and, drawing just really ugly things. And finally, it came to a place in my life that, because back then I was sort of like in that place to where, I enjoyed doing the things that I did, but really, coming to when I had turned my life over, my ways began to change. My ways began to change, and all that had to stem from, turning my life over to the Lord. But I will say that, again, that in my past, I got into a lot of stuff, like stuff that had to deal with, horror and all of that. So basically back then I just had a really ugly mindset when I was, in my teens. And so when I got to the point to where I started drawing things that just didn't, seem or look right to me, because back then, it's like I was saying that I enjoyed, stuff like that. But yet when I turned my life around, my life started getting better. And going from there and going through with all the stuff that I did in my past and turning my life over to God and using my talent for God, it has gotten better and better. And so it was just like, I didn't want to do it anymore. I really didn't. And a lot of the stuff that I got into, of course, I will say that, I did get into a lot of, pornography and all that junk. And I was so entrapped with that and ghost hunting. And, things just began to get really bad in my life. And so, ever since that I turned my life over to God and doing my work for the Lord, it's gotten better. It's gotten better because, that's all that I want to do now is to do my work for the Lord. And, really focusing on Him and doing, what I need to do. And by listening to Him, listening to His voice, because, when we get into things that are of this world and it's not godly, we wind up getting entrapped. We're blinded. And that's where I was. So, again, when I was, when I turned my life over, I felt so much better. I got rid of all the stuff that, that I used to get into, and I'm just blessed, and I'm very thankful that, He got me through that, and I'm just very glad that I don't have to turn back to that. So it was a pretty tough road, for me to get out of the situation that I did. So it was pretty tough and it was very rough. And So it just, I'm just very, very thankful and very blessed that, I got out of it. I never wanted to, I never wanted to get into the point to where that, I just, I didn't care in my past and, about anything but myself. And, it says in the Bible that, we have to care and love others and not ourselves. And that's where I was. So going through that and then, and just realizing of what I went through, I feel really good now to say that, the Lord got me through it. And I give him all the praise, glory, and honor for it. I don't want no glory. I don't want any of it. It all belongs to the Lord. And so now that I'm doing work for the Lord and I love it, I do. And it's like one of the best things that anybody can do. That, if anybody is dealing with the situations that I used to, there's only one way to handle it. And that is to go to God in prayer. There's nothing better than him. There's nothing better than the love that, that he shows us. And so the love that he gives us it's so, it's just so pure and so beautiful. And so, I mean, that's where I'm at, with my relation, because my relationship with God is amazing. And, and I feel like that, I just don't, because, when it gets to the point that, when I pray, I always tell God, I don't want to look back on my past. That's in the past. It's gone. It's dead. The old me, it's dead. And so yeah, I mean, it's just something that, that I personally just I needed to get rid of all that junk. And so I'm very, just, and it's that point to where, a lot of people think that because, when you turn your life over to God, there's going to be people out there that's going to be like, oh, well, I can't have fun. I can't do this. Well, that's not the point. The point is that when you get into stuff like that and you come to realize that, wow, okay, this is what I was entrapped in, you got to tell yourself, that this is a life that I was in before, and I don't want to be back there. I don't ever want to, go back into that. And, and that's where I'm at now, is that I never want to go back to my old life. I don't want to be there. And that's something that, it gets, when you hear people just literally, saying that, I'm not going to be able to have fun. I'm not going to be, well, God's not saying that you can't have fun, just don't do the things that you're not supposed to. And, listen to him. Listen to what he is saying. Listen to what he's got, for you, so that you will understand, because the thing is, I go by, you never want to be too busy to recognize his blessing or hear his voice. And when we get into that mode, you want to listen very carefully to the directions that he is giving you. Don't don't go and, and ignore of what he's saying. And if there's times that, people will say, well, he doesn't hear me. He does, he's not talking to me. Well, he's listening. He's always listening. You see, that's why, he sees and he hears all. That's the thing. He sees and he hears all. And, and if there's people out there that are struggling with the same issues as what I have, there's one answer to it. Go to Christ. Go to him, because he's the only one that can protect you. He's the only one that can get you out of the situation. And, because again, that I went through a lot of things in my past. Yeah, it was dark. It was dark and it was evil, and having to, to switch your life over, it's not hard. It's not hard, because all God is asking is that time. He wants that time, with you. He wants that time. So give him your time. It's sort of like when we ask God for things, we expect to have it now. Okay? We expect to have it now. The thing is, and here's the biggest thing of it, is that we don't receive it in our time. We receive it in his time. And you know what? And another thing is, we don't receive it the way we want it. So what I'm actually saying is that when you ask God for something, be patient with him. Be patient with him, because it comes in his time. And if it's his will, he will let it happen. Don't rush him. And again, we're not going to receive it on our time when we want. Okay? We're going to receive it the way he wants it and on his time. And that's what, that's what a lot of people out there think, that it's, I want it now. It's in my time, I want this now. Okay, so that's not the way to go about it, So yeah, I mean, that's a little bit of, what I'm going through, when I was going through with what I was in my past. But I will come out with the with a full version of what I went through, because back in my past, I mean, I thought I was born and raised, what I thought was a Christian home. And I would go to church, every Sunday, and I was I was living for the devil, And that was the bad part of it, because, I would go in and I wouldn't be listening to the sermon. And it was just bad. It was horrible. And so, yeah, I mean, that's just, I'm just very, very glad that, I got out of that. And so, yeah. But I will say that with this drawing, okay, this drawing, again, it's like one of my favorites, and I do have to say that what this drawing means to me is, I mean, you hear in the song "God's Not Dead," okay, he's living on the inside, roaring like a lion, okay, and again, we don't want to be too busy to recognize his blessings or hear his voice. Well, here's the thing. In Amos 3:8, it talks about that, the lion has roared. He's getting, he wants that attention. And so the thing is, it says, the lion has roared. Who will not fear? The sovereign Lord has spoken. Who can but prophesy? Okay, so the whole thing with that verse is that, you know, when he roars and he's roaring in us, we need to hear that roar. We need to hear his voice, and we need to listen to his voice, and we need to listen to him speak. Don't push it, because when we push it aside, we're not going to hear it. We're not going to hear his voice. We have to pay very close attention. It doesn't matter if you're at the store, if you're at home, if you're over at your uncles, aunts, cousins, girlfriends, boyfriends. It doesn't matter. Or if you're at school, whatever. You got to pay attention to what he is saying. Everywhere you go, you got to pay attention to what he is saying. And taken within yourself that, that he's trying to get a hold of you. The only way he's going to get a hold of you is if he roars. And that's what this means is, the lion has roared. So it's saying that Jesus is speaking. He's getting your attention. And the thing is, we gotta pay very close attention into what he is saying. And we have to follow to what, the directions that he has given us. And see, that's the best part. When you listen to God and what he is saying, we really need to, pay attention to be, okay, hey, all right. He's trying to get my attention. He's speaking to me. And we just got to listen very closely. Listen very closely. And so, that's just what we really have to do. Okay, so as you see, is I just filled in some of the areas there with that pen. Now I'm going to go in with a marker. And you can tell that with the bigger areas that I am doing here, it's filling in a whole lot. So, like I say, you want to make sure that you get the little areas like down here and those sharp little corners there. You want to get those with the pen. And, and then get the rest with the marker. So, yeah, we just... this drawing actually, it took me a little bit to figure out, what kind of drawing to do, because when I first turned my life over, it was very difficult to figure out, what drawing to do, and so it was very rough, very hard, and it was very new to me, because I was, a new Christian. I was a newborn Christian, and when I first turned my life over, so it was very hard for me to really figure out what to draw, and what really got me was, really getting, into drawing something different. And so now that I do that and just, it's very easy now for me to be, okay, I want to draw something good. And I want to draw something that, that represents the Lord. And so, yeah, it's... I'll tell you what, it was very, very rough. And again, I had a very rough life. But yeah, it was very, very, very difficult to figure out and what to do. And so sorry about that, you guys. That's my dog barking. And so yeah, I mean, it's just basically in what you have in mind and how you want to work things out, and really to to figure stuff out, what you're gonna draw. And it does get kind of difficult when you because you have with the things that people get used to and and doing in their past, and they want to do something different, it gets very difficult for them. So like with me, again, I get many ideas on what to draw, and things for the Lord, and I just get it down. So yeah, I mean, it's just something that I love doing. I love it a lot. And so yeah, I mean, it's a beautiful thing. It's a very beautiful thing. And so yeah. Okay, so here, you see that I'm just filling in those little areas here. And stuff like, like in this area here where it gets kind of bigger there, that's where I'm going to wind up switching, to the marker. Now sometimes you can get in little areas like that with the marker. You just got to be very careful in, how you get those little corners. Sometimes if you do that, it'll go out of line to where you're coloring. And so yeah, I mean, but this drawing took me a little bit. Like I said, it took me a little bit to really figure out, again, into what to draw, what to come up with, and and all of that. So, but yeah, I mean, I really love that. But I'll tell you what though, when I first turned my life over, I did a drawing, and it was the lion and the praying hands, and so it was it was again, it was a new thing, and to really really dig deep in that. And so it was, I know that when I first did a drawing of it, I know I asked a lot of people, what was it that they wanted me to draw? And I had gotten a response of the praying hands. And that's the best part of it, because once you get the ideas of what you want, to get ideas from other people, and what to draw, you go and you just say that it's that would be something that you would like to draw, and so the whole thing of it is and that's why I say getting the ideas from other people to see what they want to see drawn, and then you draw it out. That's something that's fun, because you can get more ideas from other people and get their opinion on what to do next. And okay, so like right here, I'm gonna fix that up a little bit. There you go. And the thing is, you know, because I'm going to be starting a drawing series, and they will be live, you know, because it would help me out with my hours. So yeah, I mean, once it gets all started up and, you know, ready to to get the show on the road, and just, you know, is when I will start asking people more, and, you know, what is it they want to see me draw next. And so yeah, I mean, that's something that that I'm going to start doing on my lives. I'm not sure when it's going to start yet, because I still have to figure out a really good time to do it. And I want to make sure that I don't run into anybody else's, you know, time. And but we're still, you know, I'm still just figuring it out still. And so whenever I get the, you know, the time and day to really get it started, then, you know, I'd be letting everybody know and that. So okay, so right here, it's all filling in the bigger areas here. So like areas like this, it's good for the pen, because the areas in there, they're sort of thin. So you want to get something that's, you know, thin to really get in there and get it colored up and filled in and everything. And like right here, these are a little bit thinner. And you want to make sure that you get those filled in with the pen, because again, you know, like with the marker, it's not gonna work. It won't work. So, so yeah, that's where the pens come in. But I do have to say that, you know, if any of you like to, you know, to draw and you know, and stuff, what is it that you like to draw? You know, you can put it down in the comment section and you know, let me know, you know, and the stuff that you like to draw. I mean, I draw all types of things. I mean, I don't do villains. You know, I do like superheroes and that, and I draw stuff for the, you know, like for the Lord. But yeah, I mean, that's another thing is I'm gonna ask people, you know, even during videos, that, you know, to drop down in the comment section what you want to see me draw next. And you know, so I mean, and once, you know, I see ideas, you know, maybe that'll be something that I can put on, you know, when I go live again to you know, for my first episode, you know, for it. But yeah, just put down in the comment section, and, you know, just let me know what, you know, what do you like to draw, and, you know, and you know, what are, you know, what are the talents that, you know, God blessed you with, and so on, and, you know, you know, so yeah, just let me down, you know, just drop it down in the comment section, you know, and just let me know, because I want to see your guys' ideas on what you want to see me draw next, and you know, and what you guys like to do. What are your talents, and what are, you know, what is it that you guys like to do, and and all of that, because I really would like to see all, what you guys do, and, what, and again, if you're into art, awesome. That is amazing. But, it's like I said, I draw superheroes, and I don't draw villains. I got out of that. So I do superheroes, and I do stuff for the Lord, and I do cartoon characters, like Disney characters. So that's something that I really enjoy too, because I like to draw, Disney stuff and that. So I really like, I really like doing that. I really enjoy it. I have, a couple of drawings of the X-Men, and I got a drawing of Stitch. So it's like it's like I say, I really enjoy, doing stuff for the Lord, and, but yeah, other than that, it's really fun, because, drawing is a very relaxing thing, and not only that, but, like, if anybody does diamond painting too, that's another relaxing thing too, because what I do is when I do diamond painting, because I'm in the middle of doing a diamond painting, of Jesus, and what I do is when I do that, I always put on praise music. Wow, it is so relaxing, and so I really enjoy diamond painting. Now I have to say, I don't do it as much, but I do a little bit of crocheting. I'm in the middle of trying to do like a towelette thing, like a washcloth, and but I really got to get back into that. But other than that, the most thing I really love doing is diamond painting and drawing. So yeah, I love it. Now, as you can tell here, is I'm just getting into filling in the bigger areas. Now, the reason why I'm using black, okay, is because it's like the shadowing. It's the shadowing that is, in those areas of the drawing. Now here, since it's a little thin, I can use a little bit of the marker. Whatever cannot be filled in by the marker, I don't like to, I have a habit of doing it. See, like right there, I have a habit of going over it and over it. But the thing is, it like widens the area up. So I don't want to do that. And really, you want to use the pen. You want to use the pen for it. Because it reaches, it reaches in those areas. So like right now, see, this area is big, so I can go ahead and just fill that up with, with a marker. And, like right here, okay, that's the detailed pen. I want to get the small pen because, they're labeled, so like how thick the tips are. So yeah, see, like right there, you want to just, fill it in very carefully. You don't want to go outside the line, because you see, like, it was like right around, like right here. I had to fix that up a little bit because the marker wouldn't get through there. So you want to make sure that you very carefully see how that's done. So here, see, like right here, because there's so many big spaces here. I think that what I'm going to do is, just to do the shading area. And I think that what I'm going to do is I'm going to, I don't know if I'm going to make a separate video or not, just to color it in. I think that's what I might do, because I think this one I can just do like for the shading. And then, yeah, and then make it separate video probably for the coloring. Let's just say that this is going to be the first the first episode of it. So yeah, once you get stuff like this colored in, and you got to, really pay attention to what you're coloring in, and because you don't want to mix it up. You don't want to mix it up. And I know that, maybe some people, have the tendency of, accidentally messing it up, or, messing up their pictures. But you know what? It happens. It happens. And you just got to find a way to fix it. And yeah. Okay, see right there, I did really good on that part by being very careful. Usually I got to use the very tip of the marker here to really get in there a little bit. So, I mean, marker does work sometimes, but when it's in really thin areas, you don't want to risk it. You do not want to risk it. I mean, sometimes, all artists are really good at what they do. And, sometimes they mess up. So, yeah, you just, when you do that, just be very careful and, what areas you color in, and you want to make sure that it matches up to the same area, so you don't get it, all mixed up with, if you're doing a cartoon character or whatever, just all you got to do is, see, like right there, I was going to use detailed again, by small. But yeah, that's another key to art, is you want to be very careful. Like when you draw a character or you draw something, make sure that when you look at the picture, find out, what part of that, you're coloring, and then really, really focus on those areas, because again, you color in the wrong area, because I've done that before. I've done it before in plenty of pictures, but I have always found a way to fix it up. I mean, yeah, the mistake is in those pictures, in some of the drawings that I have here, but I've always found a way to really patch that area up. But I think after this, I will show you some of the stuff that I have drawn. So it's, I used to take art when I was in school. And, I remember when I was in middle school, and one of my best friends, I would always ask him to, I would always ask him to draw me something. Because I felt like that, in that time, I didn't know how to draw. I didn't know how to, to get detailed with things. And, but the thing is, when somebody has a talent, use it. It doesn't, and I look at it as it doesn't matter, how it turns out, as long as you use that talent. And so, yeah, I mean, it's, ever since that my buddy and I, because, I look at him as as my brother. He's always been, like a brother to me, ever since school and all the way until now, so it's it's all different now because I'm learning how to do that, and that's something that a lot of us we may say, well, I can't do this, I can't do that, I don't know how to make this that or whatever. The thing is you want to really keep your confidence, and really, put, show it. And that's why, when sometimes when I draw, or a lot of times when I draw, I put on worship music, and that helps me boost my confidence, up. And that's something that that I need. Okay, so right here. There. I'm gonna grab some water here for a minute. Now you can tell it's coming out. It's coming out great. So having God on your side every day, and it doesn't matter what you go through. It's all about Him. It's all about Him, and we got to keep the faith. We have to keep the faith and trust in Him, and that's what we all got to do every day. That's what we got to do, and when we do that, everything will fall in place. Everything will fall in place, and so it's like, we can do all things through Christ who strengthens us, right? Well, when we think like that, things begin to get better. Because Christ is with us, He's not going to let us fall. He's not going to let us fail. He's not going to let us do any of that. And, that's something that's just beautiful. It's beautiful because He's always there. He's not going to leave nor forsake us. And, it's like when He flooded the world, when He flooded the earth, what was His promise? What was His promise? The promise was that He was not going to flood this world with water, right? So His promise was He is going to he's going to bring fire down in this world. But His promise is that when He flooded the earth, He put a rainbow out, to show Noah that was His promise. That's what He was going to do. He's not going to burn, or He's not going to flood this this world anymore. But he is going to put it in fire. And the thing is that this world is becoming like another Sodom and Gomorrah. Scary, isn't it? But the thing is we have to have our faith in God. We always have to keep our eyes focused on him at all times. Because if we don't, we are going to fall and we are going to fail. Look at what happened with Peter. When he walked out to the water and he was going to walk to Jesus, he expected Peter to stay focused on him. And what threw him off? It was the storm that threw Peter off. That is what made him fail. And Jesus come to help him, and he told Peter, why have a little faith? You see? So we have to have faith in him at all times. We want to keep our eyes focused on him. We have to ask ourselves, where does our help come from? You see? Where does our help come from? Our help comes from the Lord, the maker of heaven and earth. That's powerful. That is very, very powerful. Because we come to see that when we ask that, where does our help come from? That's where we have to, when we go out and we want to, help others. The thing is, I was talking about this on a stream. I can't remember whose stream it was, but I watched this movie, and this movie was called The Root of the Problem. Okay. And what happened in the movie is that this guy was so greedy. Okay, this girl had a plant from her uncle because her uncle had passed away. Now, mind you, the guy that gave this plant to her uncle was there at the time that they were giving the stuff that he owned to family. And what wound up happening is that they got a tree. They got a tree, and the whole option of that was, to take care of that tree. Well, mind you, they didn't know what kind of tree it was. Okay? And the thing is, this guy's wife told him, put it out in the shed, water it, and keep an eye on it. Because before they got upset that, oh, wow, well, my, uncle left me a tree, what happened to the money, So there, the guy was all about money, okay? The guy was all about money. Well, the thing is that, it was just all that, this guy, he wanted money, okay? He wanted money. And the thing of it was that, that he was expecting money. Well, the thing is, when they got home, they put it in, they put the tree in the shed, okay? He watered it. And of course, the next morning, he went out, checked on the tree. What was in that tree? This is what was in the tree. It was money. It was a money tree. Now, the whole situation with this is that, God does not expect us to be greedy about things. Now, this guy was greedy. Okay, he was greedy. He wanted the money all for himself. Well, the thing is that you know, God wants us to help others. Not to, you know, not to think about ourselves, but to think about others. So the whole situation of this is that what did he do? He went to go buy like over $1 million. You know, I mean, well, not $1 million, but, you know, thousands of dollars, you know, to get a new car and, you know, and a lawnmower and, you know, all of that. And that just says that guy he was thinking about himself, you know. Thing is, what does God say about that? Because here's the thing. The money is the root of all evil, correct? So when we come to see that, we don't want to think about ourselves. We want to think about others. You know, if there's a better way to handle that money, you know, use it to help people. Use it to, you know, if people need help with something, help them. But don't keep the stuff for yourself. The more that we keep things for ourselves and the more that we fall, you know, we wind up falling. And we come to a place in our lives that we're falling into this world. And that's what this guy did in this movie, that he was greedy. He had all this cash from that money. Never told his wife or kids. But sooner or later, the wife found out because she got a visit from the police. That's where she found out, and she was very upset with her husband. Because the whole thing of that plant was that her uncle, this lady's uncle, used that tree to help others and not himself. Isn't that amazing of what God tells us? And what he says to us to really open up our eyes? And to really see the big picture. That it's not about, you know, it's not about, you know, us. But it's about the people that we help. You know, that, you know, when we have something, I mean, yeah, it's, well, let me reword that. It's all about Christ. Sorry. It's all about Christ. But when we have things that, you know, that we have, and, you know, we got to be thankful. We have to, we really have to be very mindful. And the thing is, it's all about Christ and what he wants, you know, and how he expects us to react when it comes that, you know, if people are in need of something, help them. Don't leave them hanging. Because you know what? God never did that to us. God never did that to us. He never left us hanging. Because God is very loving. You know, he is the way, the truth, and the life. He is our Heavenly Father. And that's why we got to be very mindful in what we do or what we say. So yeah, I mean, I encourage you all to, you know, really, you know, check out that movie. It's called The Root of the Problem. And so yeah, it's a really good movie. And it teaches a lot. It really does. It shows us how we have to be mindful of others and not ourselves. So as you can see here, it's almost getting filled in. And this side is almost done. But I think that I am going to make this a separate video from the coloring. So it will be, I don't know. It might be a separate video. I'm not sure though. So, I mean, I will definitely figure that out. But yeah, but this drawing means a lot to me. And it's something that, you know, I had on mind, really realizing that, you know, there is, you know, just by looking at this picture, I mean, there's a lot to it, and a lot of what we, you know, and there's a lot of something in this picture that you know, that we can really take from it. You know, listen to what God is saying. Listen to what he tells us. Don't push it aside. Look at what happened with Samson when he was blinded. And see, that's the way we all feel sometimes, that, you know, when we're distracted by things, we're blinded. But we also have to listen to the things that God tells us. You know, that's the biggest thing. Listen to what God is telling you. Don't push it aside. Listen to him. Because you know what? He tells us that he's got something better in store for us. Because when we listen to him, he's got something better in store for every single one of us. So I encourage you all to please listen to what he's saying. Don't ignore it. Because you never know, that opportunity may never come around again. Each opportunity that you have that is being given by God, take it. Don't just say, no, I'm going to wait until, you know, tomorrow, or I'm going to wait until next week. No. Don't wait until that time. You wait, you know, you wait to do that, that opportunity will not come around again. There's other opportunities, but you don't want to miss the first opportunity that God gives you. Because believe me, I missed out in my past. I missed out on a whole lot because I was so blinded. So I encourage you all, don't be in that same position as what I was. It's very destructive, and that opportunity may never come around again. Okay, so here I'm lightly going over because I don't want to mess it up. So so you can see that as lightly as what I'm doing this, it's it's all coming together, and it's so what you want to do is you want to be careful with these corners. See, like right here now is where the pen comes in. So I think another thing is I'm gonna just do this side because I don't want to get everything in one shot. I'm gonna do the other side, another video for this other side after I get done with this. So we're gonna, after this, I'm gonna stop it after this, and I'm gonna do another video, and so this is basically gonna be a 3-parter. Now, I'm just going to the mouth and I'm gonna get this part. Right here, it's almost filled in. All right, and there you go, guys. That's for that part. I am going to make another video for this side, and then one more video after that, getting it colored in. So I thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you in the next part of this video, and I will see you in that next half, and the second half. God bless. leave your comments down in the comment section, and please like, share, subscribe, thumbs up, and please share out. And so yeah, we will see you in the second half. God bless. Wolf Redeemed out.